Welcome to my newest series, Cooking with Me. I am Lindsay, also known as Animal-Based Bae. And if you want to get alerts for when I drop the next cooking video, subscribe to my channel down below. So today we are going to be cooking tostones. I love these and I'm so happy to reintroduce them back into the animal-based diet. And this is just near and dear to my heart because my abuela used to make them. And yeah, so it just gives me a lot of nostalgia, as well as it's super yummy. It has the consistency of like a potato, gives you that saltiness and starchy, so it leaves you a little bit more full and satiated, that feeling of it. And it's not as sweet as your typical sweet fruits on this diet, carbohydrates. So you will love them, your family will love them, everybody's going to love them, your kids will definitely love them and they are going to ask for more. So anyways, so let me just get started. What you'll need is plantains, green plantains. So these are unripe and they're hard. So yes, they're definitely gonna be hard. And guess what? This was about, two of these was about $1.50. That's right, so super cheap, very economical, love it. So I want to include this in just either weekly or monthly, as to not overdo any carbohydrates of any one particular kind. I love to just layer in some variety. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the plantain and we're going to chop off the ends. Let me also start the stove. So I'm gonna turn this onto medium-high heat, and I use a all-clad, has a little bit of a depth to it, so you can use that, get that nice and hot. And then I'll get into the cutting the plantains in a second. Sorry. Thanks for being patient in my first video. So then we're going to add some fat, or tallow is what I like to use. So this is actually beef fat. So same thing as tallow. It depends on how you look at it. I'm going to add probably about maybe 2 tablespoons, depending on how big or wide your pan is. To get a nice layer of fat. You're probably gonna want about 1/4 inch of fat in there because these are fried plantains and they're really going to be immersed into this delicious fat. All great for hair, skin, and nails and fat burning. So you're gonna get yourself a nice healthy dose of nutrients as well. Some great form of stearic acid. So while that is heating up and melting, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on my plantain. So we've already cut both ends here. So now you could also see that there's seams here. And so I'm just gonna cut along those lines as well, because sometimes they can be pretty difficult to peel if you don't kind of cut them in seams here. And now there may be a better way, but this is just what I do. This is actually what my abuela has always done. And so I really haven't looked into like, is there a more efficient way? But honestly, I don't think so. So, and this is how we used to do it, authentic style. So I'm very excited to share this recipe with you. And hopefully this includes some variety in your weekly meals. Okay, so we've cut our slices on the seams, and essentially we're going to just peel, okay, see how that goes? Peel it. Peel it off. Like I said, it's a little bit tougher, so you just want to get your fingers kind of under there and peel it. I'm going to go ahead and lower this front just a little bit down to medium. Continue my peel. So what you'll need for this recipe as well, too, as I did not mention in the beginning, but essentially you'll need 2 plantains, okay? You'll need some salt, you'll need some tallow or beef fat, you'll need about a medium-sized saucepan, maybe a little bit deeper than that. And then you'll actually, if you want to get the right tool for this, it's called like a tostone, like wood, I don't even know, smasher, I guess. But actually what I am using is I'm using 2 small cutting boards to do kind of the final mash before I double fry it. Yes, you heard that right, double fry. Also, this does have a tendency to turn the fire alarm on. So you might want to just turn on your vents and as you fry. So I know all my steak lovers out there know what I'm talking about, but when you do this with tostones too, it's the same concept. Okay, so now what I'm gonna take, and this is kind of a medium, almost large plantain. This is a little bit larger, so your cuts might look a little bit different. So I'm gonna cut 3 cuts in this one. So here's one, okay? It's about this size, probably about 2 inches. And I cut it on an angle, just, again, that's how we do it in our culture, and it's just easier to smash that way instead of completely round. So I like that it just kind of like smashes a little bit nicer. And then I'm gonna drop this in the hot pan, okay, which is still on medium. And then I'm gonna cut another one on an angle. Again, about 2, maybe even 3 inches that might be, okay? 2 to 3 inches, right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and make another one as well. One is fine, it'll make about 3 big plantains. And like I said, they're just almost like Latin fries, they taste like. You'll never have another fry, another potato chip in your life after this. So I'm excited to just share this because I know we miss a little bit when we're doing animal-based eating. We miss a little bit of that crunch, saltiness. Well, I guess we do have a lot of saltiness, but that like combination of salt and crunch. So again, I'm just cutting along the seams here, okay, so that it just makes it easier to peel. See, look at that, not bad. So now while I'm making this, I'm also going to spin these so that I get a nice, beautiful golden brown color around them. Now this is meant to just kind of heat and cook a little bit, and after that we'll pull them off and then smash them and then get ready to double fry them. So just kind of checking in with my other plantain here. Just continue the peeling so you can see what I'm doing here. And I do like to buy more ripe fruits, right? Fruit is meant to be sweet and bread to be sweet, so I do believe the fruit that is ripe is better from a nutritional standpoint. However, every once in a while I like adding a little bit of variety, and plus it's not like it's bad. This is a resistant starch, so actually, fun fact, I'm wearing a glucose monitor, and when I consumed this over sweet fruit, my glucose didn't spike as high. So this is also a great way to intro some of that variety too, where you don't get that super high glucose spike if you're looking to tone it down. So I thought that was really interesting, just kind of giving that insight into what my glucose does when I eat plantains. And plus, after, you just want to see how you feel, like with anything else, whether it's fruit, whether it's meat. You always just want to see how you feel, how did my body respond to this, right? And so these are also super dense. So those super yummy, you can probably eat too many and then get a bellyache after because they're so yummy. Well, I don't really, honestly, but sometimes people do. So anyway, so this is a little bit of a larger plantain. I'm going to actually make 4 slices, 1, 2, or 4, sorry, it's 3 slices this time, but like 4 pieces. Okay. Now, what you can do with this, I like to make them kind of thicker and bigger. That's just the way I like them. But you could also make these into smaller tostones and make them, kind of that size. I like to make mine a little bit more of like a silver dollar size. Because now they're looking beautiful, golden brown. Okay, so I'm going to place them on my cutting board. Okay. And then I'm going to take one cutting board. So I'm going to actually move this over here and then bring this here. Okay. So now place your plantain on one side of the board. Take another board, and then you're going to smash it. Okay. Well, Okay, lots of flipping and turning here of the plantains. These will need, you know, about a few minutes depending on how high you keep your pan. Sometimes I like to add a little bit more fat too, to be a little bit more immersed into the cooking fat. The more fat, the better. Gives you that really nice, awesome fry. I'm also going to grab a nice silicone spatula and really get all that fat goodness out of there. This is like one of my favorite tools in the kitchen because it really, you get a lot. Look at all that. Other people would waste it, not this person. Nothing goes to waste here. That's also what I love about the nose to tail eating and diet, is that honestly the waste is minimal. I used to be more veggie based, not necessarily like, I didn't call myself a vegetarian. I always sort of had meat, but I ate very minimal amounts. So I used to waste a lot more. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but not much waste here. So silicone is the way. Get rid of all of your plastics in the kitchen, and of course it's not in everybody's budget to do it all right away, but every little bit counts. All right, cool. So we have these nice tostones that are super beautiful and golden. I'm going to place them on my cutting board and get ready to smash them. So I'm going to place some of these here because then I'm going to smash them and then they're going to go back in for their double fry. That's right. Cool. These look great. Just keep doing this. I did have one casualty. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to place your plantain on your cutting board, okay? Then you're going to take another cutting board or another board, or again, like I said, if you decide that you wanted that tool, go for that. And then you're going to take it on top and you're going to smash it. So this is kind of a MacGyver way to do it, but if you have the tool, sure, it could be easier. And then what you get is you get these little flat plantains, okay? Then they'll be ready for their second fry. But I'm going to go ahead and take all of them and do it to all of them now, okay? Oh my gosh, these are going to be so yummy. I'm excited. Now, how do you use these? Well, they could be used as like chips by themselves. You can dip them in things fun, such as guacamole, or I sent out in my newsletter recently a pineapple cucumber salsa. It has a little bit of lime on there, so it's really fun, sort of Latin flavoring. I don't know if I said sour cream, but you could do that. I'm actually very curious, you might think I'm weird, but to try it with my homemade ice cream. It's kind of like, I used to have, I don't know if you've ever had fried ice cream when you were a kid or just at any point in your life, but those used to be amazing. Obviously the fried portion of it wasn't animal-based, nor would I eat it today, but it was good, and it's always fun to recreate it. So anyways, so we're keeping on these plantains in the fat. And like I said, I had a casualty, so I'm going to go ahead and, it doesn't mean that I won't eat those. It's just like they turned out different, right? These are kind of like I said, Latin fries or whatever, but the way that we're making them is more like Latin hash browns. Super yum. I also tried these the other day with chorizo. Oh my gosh, chorizo and an over easy egg, smash it together. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. Okay, then we are going to take our flattened plantains and pop them in there for a nice double fry. That's right. Pumped about this. Okay, this is the exciting part. They are almost done. Doesn't take that long. This could also be kind of fun little project to do with your kids. Somebody could be the smasher. I actually did this with my niece and my uncle and my aunt when I was over in North Carolina. That is my Latin side of the family, so of course we enjoyed this. And my little niece was the smasher, and somebody was by the stove doing this, and then we had afterwards, I like to salt them, which you're gonna wanna salt too once they've come out of the fat and the double fry. And so somebody was a salter, and then, so that's kind of fun to get the family involved. Plus they're just delicious, so they would want to. It's not like it's a chore or anything. So I'm gonna keep checking these just to make sure that they don't burn. I never said that I was a professional chef, but I do like to explore and get creative behind the stove. I think I heard it one time that you can call yourself, or I can call myself rather, a cucinivore. Okay, that's somebody who enjoys cooking, and then obviously it's kind of a combination of carnivore and cooking and trying to get creative. We just also, as humans, we've kind of evolved to that because we developed cooking methods with tools and stones, fermentation. So I like to call myself a bit of a cucinivore in combination with being mostly animal based, or not mostly, I am. All right, let's go ahead and check. Don't splash yourself because it can get splashy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them because they have a nice bit of a, I'll show you, golden brown color to it. You can even probably get it a little bit more golden than this, but that's kind of where I get them to, and then I flip them. Probably go a little bit more, flip them again, just to get a little bit browner. But sometimes they can go from golden to burnt really quickly. So you just want to keep an eye on them here, the stove. That's why it's actually a good thing to have stations, so you have one task to work with and everybody can excel at each one. Okay, doing the final smashes here. And I like to use this little spatula, stainless steel spatulas. This is from Sur La Table. Really easy, kind of flimsy, nice little way to, not flimsy, but flexible is the word. It's flexible. I'm gonna flip them again, just to get this nice golden brown color. Nice and flexible to kind of get under there. I actually like using those for my over easy eggs. Actually, I like this tool for pretty much about anything. It's my go-to tool, that's for sure. Okay, these are almost done, so I can't wait to show you what I do at the end. We're getting close, so you know. But meanwhile, I have these kind of on deck, smashed and ready to be double fried. So you can kind of keep that sort of flow going. One more time, because heck yeah, I love myself a good crunch. And there's like some of these like little gem pieces that you can get and put to the side. Treat somebody to a snack, whoever's working hard behind the stove. All right, so we are almost done here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my salt, because this is important to do while it's hot. And you can see just that fat on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off, okay? Still even like sizzling with that fat. And I'm gonna salt this side. Then I'm gonna flip it and salt the other side. Going to take these off, okay? And then salt these generously, okay? Both sides, because like I said, this fattiness, this fat on them will really absorb the salt and soak into the tostones. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put some more on there. Okay, this will be fun. All right, so I'm going to continue cooking these, but I wanted to show you the finished product. what do we have here? We've got tostones. And that's how you do them. And so there's these crispy little cake-like Latin hash brown things. They taste like fries. They're so yummy. You guys, you can take sour cream and you can dip them in there. Like, it's so yummy. Sour cream. You can even add, made this pineapple cucumber salsa. Just sent out my newsletter today. You can add it to that. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a ground beef patty to that I have sort of heating up in the stove over here while it's warming up, because I made my breakfast this morning and I didn't have the rest of the burger because I was here to film this for you guys. So what I would do is take a burger, place a tostone down, take a burger patty, place that down. You can do an over easy egg on top. You can put some more, put some sour cream on there. Okay, yum. Yum, yum, yum. You can put any sort of cheese on there. That's just what I got right now because the main gig of the show was the tostones. Look, you have like a Latin slider and it's so yummy, so yummy. Oh my God. It's a dream. Okay, you guys, next week, I don't know what I'm gonna make yet, but you should subscribe to my channel to get the notifications when the recipe drops. I'm excited to share more with you. Thank you for watching my first show. Enjoy. Please share in the comments down below if you've made this recipe and tell me what you think.